The House now recognizes the Minister of Health and invites him to the podium to take the debate further. Honourable Minister.
Honourable House Chair, His Excellency the President and Excellency Deputy President, honourable members. Mr. President, in your State of the Nation address last week, you confronted critics and doomsayers by saying something that they believe will never be said. And if I may quote you, you said this year we'll proceed with the preparatory work for the establishment of NHI. Regardless of this, some doomsayers still persist in their denial. Yesterday, during this debate, Mr. Honorable M.J. Cuthbert said that he's happy that NHI is no longer in the MDDP, it's off the table. Sorry, sir, it is there, and it ought to be there, and it's going to continue being there. I've listened to people talking about NHI without even having read the Act, and they start by distorting the definition of NHI. NHI, or universal health coverage, is not a new system of health care, as some of you are prone of saying. It is not a system which people implement because they are rich, but NHI is a healthcare financing system that covers everybody regardless of their socio-economic status. That's what it means, and it has got two dimensions. The first one is that all people receive quality health care, and all means all. Regardless of how poor you are, it means all. And the second dimension is that when you receive that quality health care, you must not suffer financial hardship or what the World Health Organization called catastrophic health care expenditure. Mr. President, this second dimension was brought about because the World Health Organization realized that there are many people around the world who are not classified as poor, but they become poor because somebody got sick in the house and they have got to seek health care. That is the concept of catastrophic health care expenditure. This type of people are counted in billions, not millions around the world. And in South Africa, we have got many such people. So NHI is about money. It's about how money is distributed to the whole population. It's about how much each citizen has got for the provision of their healthcare system. That's why the former Director General of the World Organization, Dr. Margaret Chang from Hong Kong, summarized it. He said NHI is an equalizer between the rich and the poor, close quotes. Now, that's exactly why we've got the problem in South Africa. The moment you mention the rich going to be in the same place as the poor, people start getting stomach aches immediately. That is why when you say Bella Egg, people get stomach aches. When you say expropriation, people start getting stomach aches. When you say NHI, they get stomach aches. Because these are all transformative programs about the poor. Yesterday, I listened carefully to my colleague in the GNU, Honorable Minister Hlabisa. Minister Hlabisa, you said you propose a more incremental approach to implement NHI. You are spot on. We agree with you 100%, because what you put as a new proposal is actually Section 57(1)(b) of the NHI Act itself, and I want to quote it verbatim. Open quotes: national health insurance must be gradually phased in using a programmatic approach based on financial resource availability, close quote. If there are no financial resources in the country, you can't implement. And the Act it says so. So it's not something that is new. This is not a coincidence, Minister, that the Act is drafted like that. It's because there's no other way of implementing NHI except gradually. There is no country anywhere in the world that did it in any other way, because it's impossible. It's just impossible. because it's not a once-off event, it's a gradual event that get implemented over many years. In South Africa, you have got medical aids, which many of you believe is perfect. And I will tell you, medical aids have been there for half a century. And during that half a century, it has been gradually introduced. That's exactly what NHI is going to do, not that it will take half a century too. The second thing Minister Tlhabisa said was that you propose prioritizing, strengthen the existing healthcare system. We agree with you again 100%. And actually the President said it. He said our most immediate priority is to strengthen the healthcare system, improve quality of care, and he said a vital part of this modernization improvement is maintaining of existing health facilities and construction of new hospitals, close quotes. Now, I just want to say something. Strengthening the healthcare system and implementing NHI are not mutually exclusive. One doesn't have to follow the other, for the simple reason that all of them are lifelong processes. They are unending. So you can't say we must start with one, because it will never come to an end, because they are not once-off processes. Due to unavailability of time, I'm not going to give you a list of the hospitals that the President is talking about. You will hear that during the budget speech, and you will realize that they are placed very strategic for NHI. Now, the belief that countries implement NHI because they are rich, they've got a big tax base, is not true. There is not a single country in the world that has got NHI, which can be described in those words. The UK started in 1945 and implemented in 1948 specifically because of the crisis of the Second World War. The British were poor, they were unemployed, and they were sick because of what Hitler did to them. And they wanted to rebuild their economy. They were told that no one can build an economy with sick people, and that's why they launched it. Same as Canada. Thailand, when they launched it in 2002, is because of the Asian financial crisis of 1977. So is Indonesia. They did it exactly because of the same reason. And I can go on and on and on to show all the countries that has got NHI. Now, yesterday, the chief whip of the DA, Honorable Machalakis, was very angry and said he's tired of hearing from me. You know, his level of anger was so much that I felt pity for him. Ik had mal raak. Maar soos 'n broer, ek wil jou raad gee. Jy moet asielkind gaan sien. Voor raadpleeg, want NHI is nou hierso. Dat gaan nergens. It is here to stay, Mr. Machalakis.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Motsoaledi. The next person at the podium. Order, honourable members. We now call to the podium the Honourable Letlape.
House Chair, Mr. President, Mr. Deputy President. As long as we remain South Africans, we will remain divided, covered with copious amounts of makeup. Remove the makeup and nothing has changed. We're the only country that calls itself free, where we choose to go by our slave name. Rhodesia became Zimbabwe. Southwest Africa became Namibia. We remain South Africa. And I can tell you all, South Africa has not changed. If you're black like me, you're a second-rate citizen in South Africa. Until that changes, Mr. President, we're going nowhere. And I hope for leadership from you to give us a name. 3 quick things, Mr. President. GBV is a sport in this country driven by culture and traditions. Unless we change them, more of us will lose our children. We plead with you, Mr. President, Let's have the discussion in our communities to change our values around that issue. As the minister will tell you in some of his presentations, our problem is not finance in health. We're spending enough of the GDP. What you should insist on, Mr. President, is until you realign what we spend on the GDP, not a cent more. NHI is another medical aid. The medical aid is under the authority of the minister. Let him change that. Our problem is not money. Lastly, on municipalities, our problem is not money. Our problem is cadre deployment. Our problem is leadership. See what Tshwane has done without an extra cent because of a mayor that says, I'm not a mayor of a party, I'm a mayor of the people of Tshwane. Let's put South African first and not money first, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honourable Tlhape.